Greetings and welcome to this week's magical message. I hope that your week has been very insightful. As we get ready to move into the weekend, because I was also called to kind of be an observation this week, and every time I tried to do the reading, like I tried to do it 4 different times, and each time I wasn't able to complete it. So, I decided, take my time like I usually do when the energies are like that, because there may be something to look at. There may be something greater, something more that's needed to be known at a later point. So this week I really focused on my observation. And there for me, as my personal life, there were some things that came back up that I kind of set aside that, my intuition was just telling me, okay, don't forget this over here though, right? So I believe in the last reading, there was a moment in that reading where I was talking about, not forgetting who people were in the past when you start doing better, right? And they want to come back around. So this week I was just an observation of a lot of things, from a lot of different aspects, and what I realized was that you truly have to choose you. You have to do it in every single way. And this week, in this observation, I got an opportunity. And so I'm sharing this because, you all may relate to it to some particular level or whatever, but I was called to do this observation before I could do the reading, so I figured it was important, right? But you all may have been in positions either recently or this past week where you were needing to really look at whose mind or whose energy or what perspective basically you were moving from, whether you were trusting yourself or whether you were trusting someone, something else over that gut instinctual feeling, right? And so this week, we really got a chance, if you looked around, you really got a chance to see what it is that's not fitting. You know what I mean? Even if you didn't have clear understanding as to why, you got a very clear understanding as to what was not working. And again, it may not have just been this week. Maybe it's been, a period more recently, though, for you where you've been in that space. Now, in this observation, there also comes the opportunity to move forward, right? Don't get stuck in the past. Don't get stuck on dwelling about different things. Don't obsess, especially this weekend, but really move in a way where your actions make it right for you, right? Really be in a space where you are allowing for the truth to be exactly what it is, and you move accordingly, in accordance with what truly matters to you, what's truly of value to you. It really sparks your heart, allows you to really be present with that particular thing. So just wanted to share that. But before we get into the overview for our weekend, so it's going to be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, make sure that you all like and subscribe, so that you all can get these notifications whenever I post. And so as we get started, we are looking at the garden and Father Sims, and that speaks of a very bountiful balance that's coming in. So it ties directly into what the observation shed some light on, is where that balance is needed. You can see it, right? You can see it all around you. You can feel it. The areas that just don't sit right with you. And you have the opportunity to really make some moves here that allow you to bring justice to those things, to stand in accordance with yourself, right? Which is really ultimately going to bring you closer to where you really want to be. Or, maybe for some more some closer goals, maybe you are meeting those goals, right? But there are still things that you haven't even dreamed of that you're getting ready to step into the makings of, right? Because you are crossing over what had been a hurdle, a cycle that you experienced for however, excuse me, for however long you were experiencing that cycle, that energy, right? All the forms that it came in and all the different aspects and areas of your life that it impacted. Okay. Now we have the Mother of Knives with I am he. This is going to be like your older, more mature man or more mature masculine energy, and caught up, right? So there's something coming to light here, right? Like maybe someone got caught up in some ulterior motives, some energies that kind of led them away from maybe what their goal was, whatever their intention was, right? They did some things, said some things that just kind of caused them to carry a different energy, right, in their dealings with you. Now, this mature man could be literally a man, or it could just be maybe a woman who has a more masculine or moves from a more masculine space. Or this could even be like an organization or something, maybe one that's been around for a while. So anyway, they're getting caught up in their own web. They're getting caught up in their own stuff. And it really feels like this is coming from like, because you can see the things that don't fit for you, the things that don't resonate, the more that you move into alignment with yourself, those things are left exposed, right? Because they're clearly seen. And at that point, they're left at a point where they have to move in a way, however that happens, that brings justice to you for the actions and for the things that took place that were out of alignment. Now, you also have the Father of Knives here with make it right and gentle. Now, this feels like, for you, this experience will be very comforting, very supportive, very, it is the Father, but for whatever reason, it gives off almost like an extremely nurturing energy, right? As you shed these layers. And so you're very supportive in this. And I guess, it's that moment like with your father, with the father figure, where you really get a chance to see the softness in him, his ability to relate to you on a mature but also a maybe a more emotional level, right? There, and it doesn't even necessarily mean that there's those words there, but it's just that moment where it goes from father to daddy. Like this is, if there's an emotional base there, right? And it's very nurturing. But I also still feel like a motherly, feminine energy there as well. So that energy is present as well, but it's like this father, though, at the same time, as he's comforting you, he's also bringing an end to whatever this thing is. So this could literally mean that this is a father figure, or someone who is a father, someone who represents that, maybe within the community, maybe the role that they play, or this just could be that energy. And however they're standing for you and for all of the stuff, they are truly demanding that it be made right? They're standing in the way for you. And this doesn't even have to be someone who's still here present with you. This could be someone who has passed on, right? This could be an ancestor who's standing in this way for you, but they're standing there very firmly, while at the same time exhibiting to you such an extraordinary amount of grace and nurturing energy, where you are provided for and you're protected, right? So you may even feel like you go into a space where maybe you're a little bit more quiet, not like solemn and down, but just quiet, just almost like you're in a space where you're paying respect for how held and nurtured you feel at a time when something so major is ending in your life, right? You are so covered, you are so supported, and it really just is a really beautiful thing. Now you have Palo Santo and the Hangman in reverse, as well as False Person and Papa Legba. Now the Hangman in reverse in this deck is called Bella Jack. Okay, now the story with him is that, he basically was in more of a mental prison, right? He could have freed himself, but he was in a more of a mental prison. And so I feel like there was a lot of confusion, lack of clarity. There were a lot of things that you didn't know, didn't believe, weren't aware of, that really kept you stagnant. Like the awareness of it for you because of who you are, it would automatically bring on like the fire necessary to burn away those false people, those false energies, organizations, whatever it is, groups that have, I heard infiltrate, but infiltrated your life, your energy, your makeup, in whatever form that they come in, even if they're the beliefs that you hold over yourself, right? And so there is a cleansing and a clearing that's also happening this weekend that allows for you to make right within you what is for you to make right. Like you are really kind of doing some soul searching on a more positive level. Again, this doesn't feel like any kind of depression. It just feels like you are within yourself. Like you would almost expect to see like the Hermit card or something. But you're within yourself, but it really isn't necessarily quiet. Like it is cleansing. It is, you're washing away all of the stuff. And it feels like you're passing through a clearing is what I heard. So Papa Legba deals with the crossroads, right? And so as you're cleansing this and clearing this, you have the ability to turn yourself upright and walk through the doors that you were always meant to walk through, and the ones that you've been working so hard to walk through. Now, as we get into Friday, we have the 10 of Coins, the 7 of Baskets, and the Son of Knives. So, with the 10 of Coins, we have adoption, the 7 of Baskets with old money, and then the Son of Knives with speak up. So, the 10 of Coins talks a lot about legacy, family, money, inheritance, generational wealth, that kind of thing. So, I feel like with adoption, I feel like, you're coming into something, right? Something is being made right for you, and something is, I heard, being returned, right? And this confusion that you've had about this old money, maybe this, even if it's not money, this could be something that you value, something that's really important within the family, something that really gives the family its stability and perhaps even notoriety, right? But I really feel like for a lot of you, this is some kind of inheritance, some kind of material or financial gain. But there was some kind of confusion. There was something going on where there was a lack of clarity. Maybe things were being purposely hidden from you. This is not that particular card that would say that, but that was the feeling that came from it. Like something was being purposely hidden, something was being veiled from you. Even if it was simply like, for some of you, it may not even necessarily be like it's other people. It could just be your mindset around maybe who you are, where you come from, your identity, how you feel about yourself. And you weren't in a space to be able to hold whatever this gift is, whatever this inheritance is that's coming in. You weren't in a space to do that, and now you are, right? Because we have the Son of Knives will speak up. And I feel like the voice overpowers the knife. Like he has a knife in his hand, right? He's showing up for the end of this battle, right? And in this particular deck, it talks about him and this other person. Basically, their lineages have been at war with each other. And they were basically the ones chosen, or the ones that, were, for whatever the reason, going to be the ones to end that war for their families. Whoever won that fight in front of the church and in front of the eyes of God, as they say it in the book, that would be the one whose family, won that, and it would be dead from that point on, right? Now, the one thing that, because with the knife, I thought about like a stab in the back, like the other person may not necessarily be expecting something that this person has up their hand, or up their up their sleeve, right? But it's almost something, it's something in the energy that they're projecting out. They're showing up with a different energy. And the one thing that completely and totally can dead that energy is you speaking up, is truth. Is you sharing what it is that you know for a fact to be true. And it feels like, most especially, this has something to do with you, like who you are, your like how you know yourself to show up, right? Like how you identify with yourself in the world, yourself with others, yourself in relationships of all kinds, like who you are at your core. And whether you're really speaking to it in that way, or in whatever way you're standing your ground and you are saying whatever this truth is, even if, maybe you're battling yourself, right? Maybe you realized that there was some self-sabotage that was taking place, and you showed up to yourself and you spoke the truth, and it ended this war, these two legacies, these two fates, right? So that is Friday. Now we have, for Saturday, we have the Strength card, we have Mother and Daughter, we have Mother of Coins with Moved On, then Hoarding and New Opportunity. Okay. So with the Strength card, I feel like whether you are the mother, whether you are the daughter in this particular energy, whether you are the person that is standing for one of these figures, or maybe you're honoring that feminine energy within you, because we even saw this Father of Knives card standing in the overview, right? And there was this maternal kind of energy that I was still feeling there. So you could be a masculine or a man who is maybe standing in protection or guidance or support of a feminine energy, or maybe more than one. Perhaps it's your family that you're standing for. But either way, it's like they're standing with this strength, right? It's not even almost like this thing of needing to. It's like it is how they show up. It just is how they are, right? And it's like they can do that because they have moved on. So there's something that you're letting go of on Friday, right? Where on Saturday, you're standing very strong. You're standing very assured. And at this point, like the Mother of Coins card kind of feels like she's counting her blessings as she sleeps, right? She knows, and she has everything. It's almost, it's like between Friday and Saturday, there's some huge transformation that takes place, because her mindset is completely different. She truly is at peace and has everything. And she's almost like, why would I even worry, right? So there's something major that she's moved on from. There's something major that this Mother Coins, whether it literally is a woman or whether it's a man, there's something that's been moved on from, and you're in a space where it feels like you're setting goals, and you now have the means, the way, or just the mindset, the perspective, the understanding to be able to begin to put into place. But this brings a lot of added value into your life. And I feel like the boost in value that you receive in whatever way comes on Friday it elevates your vision, it elevates your perspective. So there's a lot of new understanding and acceptance that's taking place, and a lot of release as well. This is a Sag full moon, so makes sense. Now we also have the courting card and new opportunity in reverse. So you're also clear about something. There was a path you were walking, whether it was literally with someone or something, right? Whether this is something personal for you that you were doing, or whether this is something relating to something external, right? Or maybe a mixture of the two. There was something that wasn't working, but you're clear on what that was, right? You're clear on the fact that that opportunity would have led to a dead end. And the ancestors are also in agreement of that, because I also feel like there's a breeze around you, right? So you've moved on, you're clear about this. You've stepped away from this energy that was going nowhere. If that energy literally feels like lead. Okay. So it's interesting, that person or that thing, whatever that thing is, if it's a person, they may feel very stuck, and maybe them being tied to you. Maybe it was almost, I almost see it as like that lead traveling up your arm as well. It's two people holding hands here, so it's like whichever you are, whether you are the man, whether you're the woman, and regardless to what that other side is, right? Your attachment to this thing cause that same kind of energy to want to just travel on up like a little bacteria, right? But you've gotten out of the way. You're not there anymore. That's not happening. But it's like I can see that energy there, right? So you may have even, especially if this was like a person or a relationship or whatever it is, you may have felt drained. You may have felt, maybe you went through bouts of like depression or, whatever it is. Or maybe it was a situation, right, that was just not stabilizing. It was not loving and caring and all the things that you really needed to bring about new opportunities. But you're clear on that now, right? So don't worry about it. Just allow yourself to the space and the room during this time period to get very clear on what that is, so that on Saturday you're sitting here as the Mother of Coins, having everything you've ever wanted or access to those things, even if I feel like some of it is literal, material, financial, something in that that category, but there's also something more because you have this new perspective, so there's so much more available to you, right? But there's also the understanding of this new opportunity. Okay, so you have the Nine of Coins and the Son of Coins as well, right? The last time that I recorded this, I actually completely missed these cards. I don't even know how I did that, but I completely missed them. So, but this time we have the Nine of Coins with safety. And I happened to look up underneath safety, and addict was underneath there and reverse, right? So I feel like, it's something that you're recovering from, whether it was someone who had some kind of obsessive kind of thing going on towards you, or whether you had some kind of obsessive, non-controlled kind of thing. Like you have cleared yourself of that. Even if this was like some kind of like addict's karma, is what I heard. And I feel like it's interesting because I feel like whoever this was, whatever this energy was, it was like sexually implanted. Like this would be like what they say when they like talk about like a sexually transmitted demon or something like that, like energy swapping and that kind of thing. So, or energy sharing. So like for some people that could even be what it is, but you are clear from this. You're good. You're safe. Right? You have everything that you truly or divinely were meant to have. And as we move on to the Son of Coins, you have newborn 555, And upright, it talks about happy life, new baby, manifestations, new responsibility, promotion, and huge fast change, right? So I feel like there's something that maybe is happening ahead of schedule, like almost like if you did the most unexpected thing, just in the way I guess that you are standing, or like the energy is like you're moving, but the way that you decided to stand is completely and totally unexpected. Like on Friday, like nobody expected you to show up and speak up, right? Nobody expected you to show up and just like get in front of everybody and speak whatever the truth was, but it happens. And it's like, it's so far, and so, I shouldn't even say so far, but it's so in alignment with you that it pulls the timeline towards you. And at the same time, the energy is like it pulls it. This may sound weird, but it feels like it also pulls it backwards. Like you meet yourself at your most divine destination, whether we're going forwards or backwards. Like there's some kind of super karmic energy that is being cleared out. There's something that you're no longer having to deal with. Like you've transformed yourself is what I heard. I was going to say you've transformed, the energy, but you've transformed yourself, which is the thing that completely ended this energy. Okay, so now we are looking at Sunday. And Sunday starts off with the 5 of Baskets in reverse with discovery. And then 6 of Knives, the cleansing fire. And then 7 of Coins, sex. And 3 of Baskets, truth. Okay, so there you may be, it feels like, that's interesting. So for some people, it might not even be someone that you were actually with, or that you're actually sleeping with currently. This could be someone who's doing that kind of magic work, right? Like if you know somebody who's doing that, and it's not going to be for everybody, but some people, there could be somebody that's just, or even if it's not like that, maybe they're like violating you in a very intimate way, and I don't mean like that kind of assault, but I do mean like maybe they were really close to you. Maybe they were someone that, that you told everything to, and then you realized that they'd done something, or they were doing something, and that realization of what that thing is, right? And like in that person, right, for them to do that kind of thing, to wrong you in such a close and personal way, right? So even if it's not that energy could show up, like if you think about the like a string, right? So you have, the first option with the magic on one end, and on the other end you have this thing that is more of, someone close to you, someone that has some kind of closeness to you emotionally, right? Someone with an emotion, you have an emotional attachment to. It feels like you get very clear on who they are in truth, what it is that they've been doing. And this could be even something where like maybe the heartbreak, maybe you could discover what was all the different things that were left in the ending of a relationship, or whatever it is, because it almost feels like it's a picture of, I don't know if this is like an otter or what this is, but there's there's this little like animal thing on a basket, and he's looking over at the wreckage of the other baskets and stuff, and he's looking at basically what's salvageable, Lord, I cannot speak right now, salvageable from the wreckage, right? Like he's looking over it, and maybe, because discovery, maybe someone didn't want you to see this, right? Maybe that's why I couldn't get the word out. but someone, and I feel like you weren't really expecting to find all that you were looking for. Like you were just looking for, you were going to get your stuff, what it is that you could take with you, what baskets were, this, whatever. So in here, it's like you're realizing almost why the wreckage was caused to begin with, right? And the person that you may not have expected or may not have wanted, even if you had like the feeling that it was them or that it could have had something to do with them, or regardless of whether there was a question in your mind of who this person was or not, I feel like you realize that the wreckage was caused by something that was done purposely, right? Like some external force came in and manipulated whatever this particular thing is, right? But so in whatever way that you discover that, right? Or maybe you're in a space where you're thinking about, maybe you just found this out, maybe it's part of, you clearing this thing with this energy in Friday and Saturday, but there's a focus on this energy, right? So whether you're just discovering it Sunday or whether you are reflecting on the discovery and what was found, right? But it leads to the cleansing, right? Like you've gotten all of what you need with the 6 of Nines, and you're moving forward. You're moving on to better things, better times. Okay, and then you have sex with 7 of Coins. So again, there's this energy of an intimacy, and it doesn't literally have to be sex or sexual energy. It literally could just be that fertile energy, right? Because she's tossed her pearls out to swine. She didn't realize that in the beginning, but there's something valuable that she gave away, right? That could have grown had it not been in a space where where it wouldn't have been honored. And so there is an intimacy here because it's something of value. It's something that she values. It's something that maybe she didn't realize. She may not have realized certain aspects of its valuableness, but there were also some aspects of whatever ground, whatever foundation, belief, understanding, feeling, whatever it was that was kind of off kilter, of out of alignment, that she, for whatever the reason, thought that this was going to be the right space, the right place, the right commitment, whatever it is. She's realizing that wasn't what it is. So she's reclaimed her own value. She's reclaimed herself, right? This identity thing again. Like she's gotten hold of who she is, the most intimate, most truest core parts of herself, right? And she's moving on. She's moving forward. And you have to support it with the 3 baskets with truth. So again, like the ancestors are bringing it everything full circle. It is nothing but truth. Like Sunday, regardless to what kind of practice you have, Sunday will be the day to do that. And I mean, it doesn't mean that it's going to be a negative thing. It means that, you want to connect. You want to give gratitude. You want to give support towards all of those who are looking to you, because I feel like there are going to be others, whether you realize it or not, that have seen your movements, that have seen the way that you have moved in some kind of way. Like there's some kind of recognition of your journey, your truth, and your victory as well. And so you're impacting others, right? So there is a whole fertile moment of truth, right, that's taking place, and it's causing everything around you and within you to thrive. So it's a really beautiful thing. It's a really intense energy still, and I mean, it's a full moon, so can't really be surprised. But I almost forgot. So I was finishing up, pulling for the reading, getting ready to do the recording, and Mama Water, Ancestors, and Signature fell out. It's like, okay. So this is something that, is ancestrally like ordained is the thing. It's like this was more than just written in stone. Like this was written in the heart. Like this was going to be, and it was going to forever have the fuel to make it so regardless. Okay, so your ancestors, your spirits and your spirit guides, they have, all of the energies that support you and your thriving energy, they have a hand in making this take place. So really allow yourself to surrender to that trust, to that truth, understanding that by the end of the weekend, you're going to come up on the other side of something like you zipped into a portal. And you're looking around like, what? Okay, everything is different, right? Everything from your mindset, your feeling about yourself, your feeling about your world, your experiences, what's available to you, how things are working. There's some major transformation that's taking place for you here. Okay, so congratulations. Bear down, ground yourself, support yourself in the most loving ways, and move with wisdom. Yeah. Alrighty, so thank you all for being present. Thank you for liking the video. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for your comments. And I guess we shall see each other or listen to each other. Or rather, you all will listen to me, right? But you all will hear me again on the other side of this portal. All right. Bye, y'all.